Hey, pretty people. Welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I am your host, as always, Jeff Stormer. This week, I am joined by Samantha Day for the first of a two-part playthrough of her game, Hard Times. Hard Times is a professional wrestling-themed hack of Alex Roberts' Star-Crossed, in which two wrestlers, forced together by creative, build a feud and a storyline for the ages, and we answer the question of, is this feud one for the record books, or is it best left forgotten? Do these wrestlers have the kind of electric chemistry to drive storylines for years to come, or are they sort of destined to kind of bump into each other and never cross paths again? Are they ships crossing in the night, or are they something truly special among them? It is a spectacular game. I loved playing it. Obviously, anytime a game is a hack of this game focused on professional wrestling, I'm in. And this game is real good, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you're going to love listening to it. And you can find more information about Hard Times in the show notes. And with all that said, let's go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. This week, I'm sitting down with Samantha Day. Samantha, thanks so much for coming on Party of One.
Thanks for having me.
So, real quick at the top of the show, why don't you take a moment to introduce both the game that we're playing this week as it is your own creation, as well as anything else that you've got going on that you might want the audience at home to know about.
So this week we're going to be playing a game called Hard Times. It is a hack of Alex Roberts' Star-Crossed, and it is about two professional wrestlers who have been thrown into a feud by the promotion that they're in, and they do not only want to make good matches, they want to build a legacy with this feud, and we use the Jenga tower that you use in Star-Crossed to be horny to represent the possibility of creative, which is, the writer's room of a wrestling promotion, such as it is, possibly pulling the rug out from under you before your storyline has reached completion.
Horny wrestling is that good wrestling, honestly. I'm very excited. I could not be more excited.
Oh, yeah. Like, I would say that this is not an inherently horny game, except that wrestling in itself is inherently horny.
Yes,
so,
that is fair. That is a fair assessment.
Because we're going to be playing online, we're going to be using an online tracking sheet, which is linked in the book and also on its itch page. I feel that using the online tracking sheet creates, less stress just because you're not with the Jenga tower, but, it still works.
It still works great. I've seen it played online, I've played it online, it works really nicely. In terms of, you still get that feeling of, oh, geez, if this could go wrong at any second. And I think that's really, that's just really good. It creates that same experience, the feeling that you want from a Star-Crossed or Star-Crossed hack. Which is that feeling of, looming, oh god, this is all about to fall apart at every step.
Yeah. They could decide to end the storyline at any time.
Yep.
And that's rough.
I'm super excited. So do we want to get into it and go through all of our prep stuff, character creation, promotion creation, all that good stuff?
Yeah, sure. Let's just hop right in.
Let's do it.
So the first step in Hard Times is, before we even make the characters, we have to decide what kind of promotion we are wrestling in, because that's going to determine a lot about the storyline and about how the scenes we play out are going to play out. So, the options I give in the book are, is it, a janky little local outfit that puts on shows in the local Elks Lodge, or is it a PWG or Ring of Honor that has online streaming and an amount of prestige? Or is it New Japan or the WWE, where they're big, they're bad, they're the largest game in town? So what are you thinking, Jeff?
I always tend to float towards, for lack of a better term, bad wrestling if I'm floating towards wrestling, but I'm also open to the biggest game in town. It really depends on what you are. What is your picture of wrestling when you picture it in your head? What is the promotion that you picture?
I feel like the middle ground.
Okay. That's solid.
Somewhere between PWG and Ring of Honor. Okay, so for our listeners who have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, PWG is Pro Wrestling Guerrilla out of Los Angeles, California. And Ring of Honor is another promotion that's fairly large. but not even close to WWE large.
Right. You're not seeing it on TV. You're not seeing it. It's not readily available. You kind of have to go look for it, but you can find it. Like, they have a Twitter presence and like social presence. It's not the only way to find this show is to find a flyer on your car at one of these larger shows.
Yeah, they're not doing shows out of garages.
Right. I can get down with that. I like the idea of, like, a streaming show, especially because I've been watching a lot of Beyond Wrestling out of Massachusetts. And I've been watching a lot of that in terms of just, like, tiny venues, like, not much larger than the Elks Lodges, but, like, tiny venues that are stacked standing room only full of, like, hot-ass crowds. That for me is like the coolest energy in the world, and I think that's where I would really I could really get into that and really like chew on that.
Yeah. I suppose that like we should come up with a name for this promotion, and fortunately I happen to have one, from the last Worldwide Wrestling game that I played in.
Sure.
So, we're going to call it EPITOME Wrestling.
Okay.
If you're okay with that.
Yep.
It's spelled epitome, but like, EPITOME. EPITOME is...
It's a good... If you can't chant it, it's not a good wrestling name,
It's
so this
not
is
a
a good wrestling name.
So yes, it is EPITOME Wrestling.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. So, step 2 is just like the reason we are in this feud. No matter how flimsy the justification is, we are put into this feud for a reason. And I list off a couple of potential reasons, like, you're both rising stars and it was inevitable that you should clash. You did this feud already in another promotion. This one wants you to do it again. Or your tag team broke up and you despise each other now. Or you just were shoved together arbitrarily and you've got to make the best of it.
I was looking through the suggestions, the dynamics in the book, and I feel like for this level of promotion, like an indie darling company creation feud feels like perfect because that gives a really solid heel hook as the person from the giant company. And so like that feels like a character, like playing the company person, like the company wrestler, you know what I mean? The epitome of like I went up to New York and got huge. Like feels like a good way to piss off like this kind of hot indie crowd. So that feels immediately that is immediately what I would like to float forward if you're feeling it.
I dig that. So yeah, this sounds like, we're both rising stars, and it was inevitable that we should clash. Yeah. Cool, yeah. Alright, so, and like, what is at stake in this feud? It sounds like the respect of the audience is at stake, if I just had to say.
I think it's the respect of the audience, and the other half of it is like the respect for the promotion. Because it's like, if I'm picturing somebody coming from somebody who just got, like, let go from Worldwide Wrestling and is, like, on their sort of indie, like, post-firing tour.
They're on their Moxley.
Yeah, they're on their Moxley tour. Showing up, like, it means that the people in EPITOME Wrestling kind of have to, like, send that wrestler packing, or else it makes EPITOME Wrestling look bad.
Yeah. And I don't know which one you want to play, but I'm not thinking like a John Moxley level wrestler, but like maybe like, oh my god, what level of prestige am I going for? My immediate thought is like an Adam Cole level wrestler.
Yeah.
Where like he was an indie darling who went to a big company, is now out. Adam Cole, of course, is still in WWE, but you know what I mean? Like that level of notoriety.
I love that because it also adds this, like, if we go with like an Adam Cole indie darling who signed with a big company and then left, it adds the element that this person probably had like a farewell tour that was really like emotional and a lot of like thank you so and so chants, and now they're back and it gives them an opportunity to be like, oh, I never cared about you, I didn't care when you said goodbye, to hell with you, I took a paycheck and now I'm back, I'm back here and I hate it. Which
I love it. This venue is beneath me. This company's beneath me.
Yeah.
This crowd is beneath me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. So that's that. And I also, tell at the end of this segment. Say what excites you. If you want to describe the sickest running the rope sequence in history, fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking do it. Yeah.
Wrestling is good and great, and I feel like it is a place to just do the things that we're all about. That's what wrestling is here for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we've got our promotion. We've got like the dynamic of our characters just sort of in general.
Mm-hmm.
We've got what's at stake in our promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna just jump into making characters unless you have anything else to say.
No, I think this is perfect. I think I have a very clear picture of Epitome Wrestling. Like as a promotion, I have a very clear picture of it in terms of like who their audience is and how they're reacting to things. So I think I'm in a good spot.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say that the audience is smarks, but the audience is kind of smarks.
They're definitely like, I think it's like a mix of smarks and locals. Like they have like a local crowd, but like then there are the people that show up like because they've read about it on the dirt sheets.
Or like on r/squared circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the Reddit crowd.
Yeah. Okay. So the next step is to choose the role of the face or the heel, and each of these has a defined role. So the face gets the first turn in the scene. We'll talk about that later. The heel decides when the scene is over. The face tends to make themselves look good, and the heel tends to act to make the face look good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look on the sheet, the moves are identical for both characters, except the last one. The heel has a role / pull for describing how your actions get the feud over,
Mm-hmm.
and the face has a role for describing how their actions get them over.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And for the listening audience, the face is, broadly speaking, the good guy. The heel is the bad guy. There are lots of wrestlers who are neither nor and can sort of slot into whichever role is appropriate. But for simplicity's sake, I called them face and heel.
And I think not to get too broadly into like wrestling theory, but I think a lot of the people that like you could look at and be like are somewhere in the middle, you can still probably draw that line and say like this person is they're a badass face, but they're still kind of a face. So I think that cutting it in this way makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So we should not feel hemmed in by our definitions. So do you want to be the face or the heel? It felt like you were a little bit more into like the indie darling the company creation who came back to the indies.
I'm kind of feeling like I'd like to be the heel if that's okay. Like that feels like where I belong here.
And I'll be, the Epitome's like the local favorite who has to defend
mm-hmm.
Epitome's honor from this returning asshole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that sounds good. Let's see. So once we've decided that, and we can skip around depending on like what we immediately have answers to. But first, what are our respective gimmicks?
Oh, my respect.
I have an idea immediately.
Go for it, please.
Okay. Here we go. What if Ember Moon was a warlock?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. That's it. That is the gimmick. What if
solid.
Okay, so for the listeners who don't know who Ember Moon is a wrestler who is basically playing her own D&D character in the ring. She comes out like in a mysterious hood with like brightly colored contacts in, and she's basically like a werewolf who does sick moves.
It's kind of the ultimate nerdy power move is to go to WWE and be like, here's my Dungeons and Dragons character.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm done.
Yes.
This is what I'm doing.
This is just my entire gimmick. So yes, it's like that, but like a warlock pledged to the primal fear
Mm-hmm.
of all mankind.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. How about you?
I think I want to go kind of the opposite of that and say that, like, my character was essentially kind of a serious wrestler character, sort of a Drew Gulak, or I kind of like the idea that they were like a serious technical wrestler, came out in like the short robe with the hood and was very like, and that was sort of why their career didn't fully take off. Was that there were a lot of plain trunks wrestlers kind of on that scene in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that they went up, they were big enough to get signed and then kind of came back and are now kind of playing off of that idea that, like, well, now I have a character and that now I'm big, like, now I'm big city, now I'm Hollywood, except that I don't feel fully comfortable in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like Drew Gulak, was this like somebody who does a lot of submissions and holds and mat wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm picturing my character as a high flyer.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good clash of styles.
Yeah. Also, it's fun to include where our characters are billed from.
Mm-hmm.
So where's your character billed from?
I am billed from... I used to be billed from, Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm billed from Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay. That's a mood.
Yep.
I think that my character is billed from Worlds Beyond.
Yeah. There's no other option, really.
Yeah, she came from the space between the stars to backflip onto your neck.
Yep.
Okay. So next step is, hold on. We can come up with names later because naming is truly the worst part of any tabletop game.
Fair.
Yeah, it's absolutely the worst. So once we know these characters better, I'll bring us background, we can name them. How about your character's finisher?
My character's finisher is it's a reverse DDT into a dragon sleeper.
Okay.
So I lock it in, I drop you on your head, and then I lock the legs around, and I lock you into, like, the dragon sleeper. So it's got that impact into the submission.
Oh, that's sick. And mine is an avalanche Spanish fly. So I get you up on the top ropes. I'm facing one way, you're facing the other, and like I make us both flip.
Yeah. That's rad.
That's rad. And I think I land on my face and you land on your back, and then I go into the pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those moves that, like, it took me a long time to figure out who was getting hurt in it.
Yeah, fucking A.
And so, like, which I think makes it a great move, because I just watch it and I'm like, somebody just did a move onto somebody and I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair did one onto Asuka at last year's Mania, and I was fully sweating. So yes, that is, I don't know, my character's finisher.
I dig it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so cool. All right, so next, we need to decide each other's two most admirable qualities. And hold on, I'm gonna write down on the face, avalanche, Spanish, fly. Cool. So again, the next question is, I'm going to decide your two most admirable qualities, and you're going to decide my two most admirable qualities, because it's not fun if we don't respect each other on some level. So I think one of your admirable qualities is that you did make it for a time, and that took determination, and I respect determination. So I'm just going to write down determination. Okay.
I think I really respect I respect your your aura. I respect the you as a performer. Like in kayfabe and out of it, you convey someone that is not human. Like you have an energy, and it is out of ring the commitment to character and to identity, and to in ring it is just there's that indescribable quality of you are scary as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I have an endless amount of respect for just how terrifying you portray yourself.
Fuck yes. All right, put that in the spreadsheet.
Oh, I only have view access, it turns out.
Oh, fucking A. Hold on. I'm like, that's true. It's sort of like, why is he not playing? Alright. Refresh it. You should be fine.
Alright.
Cool. Damn. Okay.
There we go.
Alright.
Perfect.
Okay. So you can eventually put your finish right. I'm not in a rush for that. I remember what it is. And I think that your other most admirable qualities is that, like, what are your characters, what are your characters' pronouns?
She, her.
She, her. Okay. I think that, like, submissions have always been my character's weakness. So, like, she admires just, like, your technical skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To make a submission exchange look interesting. To, do a Zack Sabre Jr., and turn people into pretzels while looking slightly disdainful.
Yeah.
Is really impressive wrestling. Yeah. So, technical skill. No, raw technical skill.
I think I respect the fact that you probably could have made the leap and didn't.
Mm.
Like you've built like a workable career on the independence. I'm gonna write down independent spirit.
Mm-hmm. I'm never going to sell out.
Yeah, and I respect the hell out of that because, like, it means that, especially, we're at a point where there's no longer the one career path, and I think I kind of see you as the representation of that, as somebody that's like, I'm gonna be here at EPITOME or other promotions until I'm done, and I think I'm just like, fuck, I could have done that and didn't.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't. You chose to leave.
I chose to leave. I took
now
the payday.
Now live with your choices. Okay. Alright, so the next prompt is... Why do you fight? And why is that important to you? So, just like it's important to have clear stakes for your feud, no matter how simple they are, it's important to have clear stakes for yourself. You want to get through the storyline and make each other look good. What else? Do you want to become a household name and be on lunchboxes? Do you want to hold every belt possible in this promotion? Do you want to do some damn good wrestling and finally get over with the crowd? Decide what it is and decide why you're invested in that goal.
Oh, I'm such a title hunter.
Okay.
Yep. I'm a title hunter. I am doing the I'm doing the thing where now that I'm ex Worldwide Wrestling superstar, I'm like going into companies where I'm just like, hey, if you put your belt on me, like I'll work for a few months, it'll be great. And I'm absolutely just like, well, screw it. I'm going after accolades now because I've kind of just I've got a little bit of something to prove now that I'm not where I kind of thought I would be, and so I'm kind of trying to lick my wounds a little bit by being the biggest dog in the yard.
Mm-hmm. And why is that important to you? Why is it important that you are the biggest dog in the yard?
I think because I thought I was going to be in the big company for a very long time, even if just kind of I never quite said I was going to be like at the top of the game, but I figured once I got to that level that was enough, and that I was just going to be there for a long time, and I kind of flared out. And now I'm kind of like, I need to prove it to myself that I am as good as I thought good enough to get back to that level one day. Mm-hmm. And the way to do that is to be as decorated as possible and be able to kind of just get my resume to where I have every title under the sun.
Mm-hmm. Why'd you end up leaving Worldwide Wrestling?
I think they cut me. I think they signed 1,000 mid-level indie names and they found out they only needed about 100 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of, like, put me in a few different places, and it never quite fit. And so they were just kind of eventually just cut me loose. I don't think it was my choice to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that hurts. And I think I'm, like, desperate to prove that I'm not, like, washed up, or that I'm not an also ran.
Damn. All right. So yeah, throw that in the spreadsheet while I find my Google Chrome. There it is. Why do I fight? That's a good question. Okay, so in kayfabe, I'm obviously fighting for my dark patron.
Yep.
Oh, this is a tough question.
Can I phrase it to you in a different way?
Do it.
Why are you fighting with why do you fight with this gimmick? Like, what is it?
That's a good question.
What is it about this character that drives you to fight?
I feel like I've been through, like a sort of Ricochet type gimmick where I'm just a really fucking good high flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like a Kota Ibushi gimmick where I'm just a really good wrestler. And I never found that satisfying. So this is a way to wrestle and have it also be like really fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I fight because wrestling is really fun.
Love it.
Why do I fight? Because wrestling is fun, and that is important to me because, I did gymnastics as a child. I loved it. This is a way to do all my gymnastic shit and also tell a story. It's so important because I want to tell cool stories. Yeah.
I love this. I love both of these wrestlers. I love all of this a lot.
Yeah, this is pretty great. And I think that if you're okay with it, I think that, like, I am the one holding the Millennium Championship, which is the highest belt in the promotion.
Damn. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, so we need, like, names.
I'm Shut It Down Sharon Brown.
Shut it down, Sharon Brown? Okay. I'm, like, fully on fantasynamegenerators.com. Looking at wizard names.
That's the right approach, honestly.
Yeah, none of these are any good. Warlock names for baby. Oh! Circe.
Circe's real good.
Yeah. Okay, so, oops. Okay, so yeah. Warlock. Circe. I feel like I'm not fully satisfied with that name, but also, like, whatever. It's better than Glinda.
It was a name you picked 10 years ago because you thought it was, like, 19-year-old Circe thought it was good. It was still, it's very much a Chuck Taylor-esque name of it. You thought it was funny when you were 17, and now you're older than that, and you go, well, I'm still going by this name. But we gotta make it work.
Alright, so now, if we were playing in real life, which we are not, we would set up our tower, blah, 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 blah. As it is, you would pull, what is it in Starcross? 3 blocks?
It's 3 blocks, yeah.
3 blocks and put them on top. So the way this works is I'm going to roll the d20 in this sheet, 3 times. Roll again. Okay, so there's a 6, an 8, and a 2. Cool. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's done. As for the scenes that we're going to play out, there are 8 potential scenes, each prompted by a short phrase. These are in the spreadsheet, or, like, if you were to go and get this game off itch, I made, like, nice little fancy cards. So they are, backstage segment, a match, an attack, cutting a promo, heating up, career highlight, high risk, high reward, and the pay-per-view. These scenes can be played out in any order. They're arranged here in, like, roughly roughly the order that they might happen in a feud, but there's no one stuck feud in pro wrestling. These are just, ingredients that might go into one. So we can pick whatever scene we want to start with. So once we've picked our scene, we'll decide collaboratively how it starts, and then we will start playing it out. I'll get things started by making the first move, and we will both take turns making additional moves that add details to the scene. When it feels finished, you're going to be the one as the heel who calls an end to the scene, and we'll pick the next scene from the list.
Cool.
As for our moves, we each have 6 moves. 2 of them are just freebies. They are describe your actions and describe the audience's reactions. The ones that require a pull/roll in our online character sheet are making ourselves look good and making the other character look good. And, we can do those unlimited times per scene, but they come with a risk. A slightly less of a risk because we're not doing this with a Jenga tower, but still a risk. Once per game, each of us gets to describe how we raise the stakes in our feud. And last of all, I can describe how my actions get myself over, and you as the heel can describe how your actions get the feud itself over. With the crowd. Jeff, could you please explain to the audience what over means?
Of course.
Because I've been using these terms without any definitions.
Of course. Over means, popular with the crowd. It means the crowd is living on your every word. It means that you have conveyed for the face, it means they are chanting your name. It means they are blowing up for the heel. It means they are throwing trash in the ring and threatening to stab me.
Yes. It's true. It's true. So at the end of the game, depending on how many rolls/pulls we did, and those are represented by the little ticky boxes underneath our character sheets, we will add up our combined heat score. Heat is the measure of how just absolutely into us the audience is. And that will determine the legacy of our feud. If we manage to get through the entire game without our metaphorical tower falling, we are just so far beyond over. We are immortals. Mm-hmm. We are gods of the ring. And the company is going to milk this feud for all that it can. So we just get to narrate a little ending and go as hard as we want. Yeah. So any questions before we get going?
No, I just I realize I also have to pull 3 bricks. We'll make 3 rolls real quick and then we'll dive in. And I do know which of the 3, things that I really want to, go with. So which of the scenes I want to start out with, if that's alright, unless you have a strong opinion.
I have no strong opinion. I'm following your lead.
Okay. So wait, I click the button that says click here to roll.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't actually work, so you're just gonna, go into the drop menu and, hit roll again, and it'll give you a roll. Yes. So just mark off the 20. And then, it'll give you a new number in that little box.
Perfect.
There you go, see?
Yep, there we go. Got it.
Yep.
And a 9. Alright.
Alright.
So I would love to start with cutting a promo.
Absolutely.
Because I think this is a good moment for Sharon to come back. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's, after a Circe match.
Mm-hmm.
And, you just had a big match, and I come back in, and I take your moment.
Wow, rude.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I am standing with my foot on Kid Vicious's chest, holding my title over my head. It's a really good looking belt. It's a really good looking belt.
For sure.
It's an amazing belt. It's like an IWGP title belt.
It's one of those ones that gets listed in articles of belts that actually look good.
Yeah. 100%. And I have the mic in my hand, and I'm about to cut my promo about, glory to my dark patron, etc., 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 when the lights go down. And the commentary desk goes wild. And my move in this one is, describe the audience reactions, which is a sudden hush.
And I think, the music that, music starts, it's hush for a second, music starts to play, and it was, last time I was on the Indies, I came out to, let's say, Mama Said Knock You Out.
Okay, that's basic.
Sure.
I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Oh, sure. And I've always kind of been a basic wrestler, and I think, but now I come out to legally distinct from that, because the big company made me a copyright-free version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what plays is the knockoff made to sound like Mama Said Knock You Out that I used in Worldwide Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And that plays, and I the lights come back, the lights come back on, or not even the lights come back on, 2 spotlights hit me as I step out from the curtain, and I'm just looking at you, and I just kind of throw you a point as I start to walk towards the ring. And so I have described my actions.
Cool. And I think that I look visibly outraged by this affront to my moment. How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the ropes, and if there are cameras filming this, the cameras zoom into my eyes, staring daggers at you.
I dig it. And I get in the ring. I get in the ring, and immediately we're forehead to forehead. And
yes.
we kind of just hover there for a second, and I kind of step back a little bit, and the lights come on, and I give you the most dramatic gesture of, say what you were gonna say. Have your moment. And then I kind of give that real cocky, elbows on the ropes, lean against it, as I'm like, please, have your moment. I don't want to take it from you.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Do we have history?
Do we have history? You know what? I think...
Even if it's just we worked a few matches together, do we have an amount of history?
We probably have some history, nothing because I don't think I was a heel last time I was on the Indies. So I think we probably had some good face versus face matches. So the crowd is so the audience reaction to all of this is kind of a shocked applause and cheer of oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah, I fucks with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Circe says something to the effect of, the prodigal returns.
And I grab a mic from out of the ring, and I say, all right, with the supernatural, you can shut it down. And the crowd pops. The crowd pops a little bit, but also, now they're starting to go, oh no. I'm I'm not here for this. I'm here for you, for this company, and for that belt, to leave them all beneath my boot. Boo! And I'm gonna say this is making myself look good.
Sure, go for it. I figured that.
I'm now actively going out to make it noted.
For what it's worth, when you tick in the box, it'll give you a new number.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a 9.
And her response is, many have tried to take this title from around my waist. You will find all the forces of darkness arrayed against you.
And I think Sharon stands there for a second and says, I've stared down darker forces than you can possibly muster. And I'm still standing here. I assure you, whatever magic tricks you've got up your sleeve, it's nothing that dropping you on your head can't fix. I'll see you around, Circe. And then steps out of the ring. The crowd is, into it, but they're definitely, I think I walk back and I do the super heel thing of, not giving anybody, not like no high fives, no handshakes. Maybe throw out the hands and do a quick twirl of like, yeah, I'm back. Where's my hero's welcome? As I walk to the back.
Okay, so can I pitch you something?
Yeah.
Before, like, as you're getting out of the ring, like, just to start this feud out with a bang, when your back is turned, Circe, like, does, like, a bow and arrow motion, and the crowd knows what this means, and just fucking does a tope con hilo onto you.
And I think I was completely caught off guard, because, like, I hear the crowd start to, like, fire up, and that's when I kind of throw out my hands, and I think it's all for me, and you just obliterate me.
Yeah. Alright, so I think that was me making myself look good fully. Yeah. That's an 18.
And cool. I'd say I'm also making the face look good here, because I let you just cream the hell out of me. So that's a 3.
Out of kayfabe, you knew that was coming. But
for sure.
Are you selling like your life depends on it?
Oh, for sure. I am face first on the floor. I roll through into some chairs. Yes. I like scramble to my feet. The robe is coming undone. I'm like, and I push some people aside as I flush to the back.
Yeah.
I am not interested in being here today.
Yeah. Is that scene? I know you call it into the scene. I think that's
scene.
All right. Cool. All right. So I think the next scene is us. I think it's like the first match of this feud.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is, I'm gonna X out.
Yep.
Cutting a promo. Eventually. My goodness. Bodily functions. Strike through. Bam. I can use Google Sheets. So I think I want this to be like the first match of our feud.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want my title to be on the line. Maybe like this is in the middle of EPITOME Pro Wrestling's yearly tournament. So like I'm in it, but it is for a chance to challenge for my title.
Sure, you're fighting to get the day off.
Yeah, basically. Wait, does the sitting champion join the New Japan Cup? I'm thinking it's sort of like the
yes. The champion is in the New Japan Cup, the G1. They're in all of the tournaments, and they've never won. But I've always just assumed that if you win, you just don't work that day.
Yeah, you just
go. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking it's less the G1 and more the New Japan Cup.
Right.
There's a big trophy at the end, and my music hits, and my music is it's Hector Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique, March au Supplice. It's March to the Gallows. So it's classical music. It's not heavy metal,
right,
like one would expect for a dark warlock. Yeah, so it hits, she comes out wearing her title, and oh my goodness. Sorry, my phone just did some shit. And I think the way that she comes into the ring is, I keep going back to like Ricochet as my inspiration for this character. A little Ricochet, a little Io Shirai. And she just like bounces over the ropes into the ring. If you can picture that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, there's a lot of smoke. There's, 100 interns vaping furiously to make all this smoke.
They have to open a couple windows, and it undercuts the scene a little bit because some natural light comes in, but it still looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think my entrance is, again, 2 spotlights, music is playing, I come out wearing the boxing robe with the hood, and I'm doing a lot of, it is the most kind of obnoxiously, like, fight sports entrance possible. Ooh. I've got, not a manager, but, like, I have an entourage I'm kind of picturing like in the G1 Supercard at WrestleMania, Kelly Klein had an entrance where she had like a whole entourage of smaller indie wrestlers who were like pouring water into her mouth and stuff. And I think I think that's just my whole shtick, is like I have a whole crew just like and it's just the most UFC like fight sport entrance possible. So I'm doing, I'm stretching out, and I've got people like, giving me the water bottle, and I come in with the crew, and I drop the robe, I hand it off, and I'm like doing the wrist exercises, and I'm full on like this is a fight, and I'm here to fight.
Damn. One more detail about Circe. She wears white contacts.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's assumed, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I think we start this match off with a bang. I think it's just like a very classic heel face match where like the face is performing like a whole bunch of like their moves, and they pull out all the stops to begin with, but like the heel's going to get the upper hand eventually and beat the shit out of me for a while.
Yep.
And then I'm going to come back. Wait, who's booked to win this?
I think I am booked to win this. To set up, like, I think I'm booked to win this, but not the tournament. But I'm still going to use this as my justification for the title match.
Okay, because you made such a good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I pinned you definitively, or I pinned you or made you tap out definitively. Or even what might be the better ending is if like you don't tap and we do the knockout.
Oh yeah, like just we fight until we cannot anymore.
Yeah. They have
to stop the match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I go too hard. It's too real.
Because I go too hard.
Yep. We both. It is a double DQ. Double DQ because we just go too hard too fast.
Okay. So I think this match starts out with us jockeying for position. Like, I'm trying to show off that I sort of have a submission game. I don't really. But I think I'm holding my own, but you are eventually going to get supremacy in this exchange of holds.
Yeah.
So I think that my role here is making you look good. Because yes, you do not let me get to the ropes, which is my natural habitat.
Right.
Okay. So it's a 6. Yeah. So I get into a hold, or we are in a hold. What's the hold? What's the hold?
The hold is, I eventually kind of catch your leg, and like, I catch your leg and I pull your arm back, so I'm kind of got your leg pulled up into sort of a little bit of a half crab, and then I kind of grab your other arm and sort of twist it into a little bit of an arm bar. And I'm just kind of like locking in these two holds at once, and like, you try to go for the rope and you just about got it, and I kind of flip you over. I do like a whole, like a full 360, and like now you're just in the middle of the ring in the same hold. Like, I don't let go of the hold, but I lift your entire body up and throw you and like spin you, like flip you fully over so that you are now that much further from the ring. And I probably transition from that into something like so close to like a camel clutch. So I grab your other arm and pull you and flip you into a few different holds to just tear your shoulders and your back apart. I'm going to say that I'm making myself look good here.
It sounds like you are making yourself look good.
And that is a 19.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 2. There we go.
And I think that, after much writhing, I, drag myself to the ropes. Are you the kind of wrestler who like holds on to the hold while
I'm... Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you wait out that, you're waiting out that 5 count. And
as I'm locking in the hold, I'm definitely, like, smiling to the crowd and chanting, like, where's my chant? Where are my chants?
Where's my chant? Where's my chant? Yeah.
Oh, and that's exactly what the crowd does, and it pisses me the hell off.
Yes. So yeah, once I break that hold, I think that I book it to the other side of the ring and, just fucking soccer kick into your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little Mako Satomura. And then I think, like, you get up and it's like an enziguri to the face again.
And I am flopping like a fish. Like, now that you're in control, like, now that you've got momentum, it is, like, every hit is a bullet train to the face. And, but I kind of grab one of your, like, you kick me once, I flop like a fish, you kick me again, I'm
dragon
down.
Dragon screw?
Yeah, dragon screw. I think I grab you. I think I catch your leg for the third one and dragon screw you into, like, an ankle, into, like, a little bit of a knee bar or an ankle lock. And again, I'm just like, is this it? Is this the best that you've got? This is your hero. This is your hero.
So, you know, panting in the middle of the ring, having been dragon screwed into oblivion. Oh, I could have phrased that better. Wrestling, it's gay.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I think that, you know, this is a little transitional sequence to, me kicking you out of the ring, and then, you know, I need a name for this move, but, like, I don't know, the bow and arrow into the tope.
It's called the Eldritch Blast.
Thank you, the Eldritch Blast. Thank you. Oh my god, all of my move names are just D&D Warlock spells, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, I gotta Google these. List. Okay, alright, hold on, this is very important. Cool, okay, I have a list. My finisher is, Power Word Kill. The Power Word Kill.
That's a very good finisher name.
There we go. Alright, so, yes. So yes. So I hit you with the Eldritch Blast. And then, like, this is very uncharacteristic of me. I just start curb stomping you outside the ring.
And I think that's probably when they have to, like, you start curb stomping me. I, like, eventually, like, you know, you with momentum, I kind of flip your arms over onto your back, and I just start, like, I start just, like, choking, like, I'm just cold, you know, I flip you over onto your back and lock you in a triangle choke, and the two of us just go back and forth, just obliterate, you know, violently choking each other out until the refs have to, like, flood and pull us apart.
And, you know, I feel like I pull away from the refs, and this is definitely acting to make myself look good.
Yep.
And just go up to the top turnbuckle and moonsault into all of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, my whole entourage is there, like, pulling me back, being like, you're not gonna win if you... And then, you know, we all go down. I think at that moment, I grab the heel staple of the cooling spray, which somebody was spraying my knee with as they were trying to, like, calm me down. And it's just all in the face. It is, you know, spraying you... And that's when the refs kind of have to call it a little bit, because that's when it just turns into a full-on, like, we are beating the shit out of each other brawl.
Yeah, this is, you know, the commentary desk is, this isn't a match, it's a massacre!
This isn't how these things are supposed to happen. There are rules.
Oh, but Sharon Brown has brought out the darkness in Circe.
Sharon Brown... Seems like she's learned a few things up north that, frankly, we don't play by those rules at EPITOME. I'm afraid to see how Circe's going to retaliate. I'm frankly, I don't want to see how Circe ups the game here. And we are just going fucking hog wild.
Oh my god, yeah. Yep. You know, there's, I don't know. There's drop kicks, and finally, like, at some point, like, I feel like we just, like, both go for the lariat in the middle of the ring, and then we just fall down. We just lariat each other to death.
Yep, and then we get the double 10 count, the match ends, we're both out of it, and I think that the last thing that happens before is that, like, we start one more brawl, particularly because I think the thing that happens is a thing that happened a lot on, like, old WCW brawls, is they start throwing chairs at each other, but not folding chairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the standard as, like, wholly assembled chairs are just going, and people are, like, ducking, and it's, you know, as we're going to the back.
Important question, do we trash the announce table, or are we saving that for later?
We might be saving that for later, but I think that's probably throw something off of the announce table. Because I think it's just throwing shit at each other, like water bottles. As, or, like, security.
I grab, like, a paper, like, a legal pad and chuck it at you.
Yeah, and they're throwing whatever's around as security drags us off, which is the end of the segment. As commentary's just like, I am sorry, this was not, we have to take a brief break for intermission as we try to figure out what happens in the tournament now. We did not plan for a double disqualification.
They definitely were.
For sure they did.
Oh, I love wrestling. I love it
so much. So, for the next segment, I really want to do a high risk, high reward.
All right.
Very specific idea that I want to do a backstage segment where I am, like, flipping tables and screaming at, like, management, which is the two guys in charge of booking this promotion, and like the half a dozen members of ring crew, where I'm just losing my shit.
All right. So what is that? What is the content of your shit losing?
I think I am screaming. I think the one thing, the reason that I wanted to do this, and the thing that I really wanted to do is start flipping tables and things and screaming. Screaming, she wants to go to hell. She wants to go to hell. I'll take her ass to hell. That's fine. I'll walk right into hell and drag her dead body out through the gates. If she wants to go all spooky lights and sounds, we can go spooky lights and sounds. But right now she's in a fight, and she needs to know that I don't step down. I will shut it down. And it's just me screaming this at people as people are trying to, like, calm me down. I'm pushing aside ring crew members and just ranting about how I want to drag you through the gates of hell. Which I think is going to be me describing how I'm raising the stakes.
Okay. All right. So, like, are we just literally going to hell?
I think we might literally be going to hell. Okay.
All right. And so wait, this scene is high risk, high reward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is, I think this is a scene, but it's like a series of YouTube videos.
Okay.
So like, what does Circe's response to this look like?
Okay, so because this is an imaginary promotion and we can do whatever the fuck we want, I think that this video is like Circe alone in the darkness, surrounded by like a single circle of candles, very much like an Aleister Black promo, actually. But like with more darkness.
Yeah.
And she is beseeching her patron, "What have I done to offend you? Why have you sent this mere mortal to plague me? Have I not been devoted enough in my service? Have I not been virtuous? Have I not brought fear and despair into this world to glorify you?" And then, like, the video ends with her staring out into the darkness and nothing answers.
Dope. That feels like it's making you look real good.
Yeah, just because, like, this is me, like, fully on my bullshit.
Yeah.
Being, you know, the dramatic face character that people love to cheer for, even as she's, you know, striking fear into their hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's in 8. Cool.
And I think I I think... Do we think that's the end of the scene, or does it go further?
I feel like we should, like, each have one more YouTube video
Okay,
each.
that's what I think. That's what I was... So I think this is... I think it literally... I think this is a scene, it's like half of a travelogue video. Mm-hmm. Like, it feels like it's just a vlog of me, like, going through, like, cities. And... But, like, halfway through, I, like, turn down an alleyway, and I end up in, you know, just straight up, like evil magic shop. Just some, like, peak nonsense. And I'm, like, walking through this store, and I'm like, this is what it's gonna take. This is what it's gonna take. And I buy some things... And then it cuts to later that day. I'm in what is clearly a bathroom, and I've set up a bunch of these things. And I, like, light some candles, and suddenly the lights turn out, and you're in the reflection behind me, and I just knock a bunch of things over. The video shorts out, and you look like the most terrifying human being, or human being adjacent creature on the planet.
This sounds like you making me look good.
Look, and you look real good.
Hell
That's a
yeah.
19. Yeah, it's just me being like, I can handle this. I can... And then that's when it, like, just hard cuts.
Oh my god. Okay, so the next YouTube video... Get this. Alright, so I've dragged you into my dark dimension.
Yes, good.
So it's you and me, and it starts out with you like, hello? Big O, hello, hello, hello. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Circe? 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 It's, again, we have a massive budget for this because it's all imaginary, and just my hand shoots out. And, you know, maybe I have, like, distinctive clawed gloves. Just my hand shoots out and grabs your neck.
You got, like, those Alexa Bliss skeleton gloves?
Oh, no,
like
no, much more. Ones? I'm thinking like actual dragon claws, like segmented on the outside.
Cool as hell.
That come to a point.
Yep.
Because again, unlimited budget. And like eventually the rest of me materializes. And I say, you think you can toy with the forces of darkness? What do you say to that?
I just throw an elbow. I throw an elbow and it, like, you disappear and then, like, appear behind me, and I like, you've got me in a sleeper, and, like, we just start to brawl. And then suddenly I'm just, every time I start to get one over, you're just gone. But it's clear that I'm not. It's clear that I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you. But I am still extremely out of my element.
And, you know, in the end, you know, oh my god, am I just, like, floating? And there's, like, a wind machine, and I've got my robe and my wizard hat, and, you know, it's billowing around me, and I say, spend some time in my world. Know your place. And then I vanish, leaving you trapped in my dimension.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So this next shit comes back. I feel like whatever the next scene, it's, you know, after you've dragged yourself out of the hell I've put you in.
And that's it for now. We'll check in again next episode to see how the rest of this epic feud plays out. Thank you so much to Samantha for coming on to the show. This game is so much fun. I am loving it, and I really think that you're going to love listening to it. The second half of it is even better. I'm just going to say that. Be sure to check the show notes and pick up your copy of Hard Times. And be sure to follow Samantha on Twitter at Passerines, that's Passerines. Then follow us at Party of One Pod, like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Party of One Podcast. If you enjoy the show, consider leaving us a nice iTunes, Pod Chaser, review us, give us a nice 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to a friend, give us a shout out on social media, any little thing to help new listeners find the show, which helps us grow and do bigger, better, and cooler things. All of those things are greatly appreciated. You can also join our Discord community at bit.ly/Party of One Podcast and talk about the show with us. I love hearing people react to the show. I love seeing people's live reactions to episodes. It makes me very happy. And that's another way that you can palpably show and also grow the Party of One community and meet some cool new people who also love two-player role-playing games. And the last thing that you can do is support me financially at patreon.com/JeffStormer, which supports not only the podcast that I create, but the games I design, community support stuff, all that good stuff. Actually, there is one other thing you can do. You can listen to the other podcast that I produce, All My Fantasy Children. All My Fantasy Children is a character creation, storytelling, and world-building podcast powered by you. Every week, I sit down with my best friend, Aaron Catano-Saez. We spin up an original character based on a listener prompt, and we populate a shared universe one story at a time. New episodes drop every Friday at allmyfantasychildren.com. Party of One is produced and edited, as always, by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. All music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, press inquiries, or a guest appearance on the show, you can email us at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And that's it for me. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, party on, everybody.